Well, what time is it? Yeah, what the fuck are we doing? Here's the games I played in May. I hope you've realized by now that I rate these whole scripts in under an hour with zero drafting, so yeah. I started the month off with Doom Eternal. Surprisingly, after my almost 40 hours in Ultra Kill and only now playing Eternal, I had no idea how much Akita took inspiration from this game with almost everything. And a couple of times I even took a look around and went, wait, isn't this literally that exact level of puzzle from Ultra Kill? But it's just something interesting I noticed. And this game is peak. The amount of things you need to focus on at once is insane. Using the right weapons for each enemy with their own way of tackling them, making sure you're using your chainsaw for ammo and glory kills out of muscle memory to heal, it's crazy. And throughout my playthrough, I didn't even use both modifications for any weapons or even bothered mod switching. I just picked the one I preferred for my playstyle and stuck with it, but the combos and shit you need to focus on while having the game be hard as fuck, I got hand cramps more times than I can count. W game. And with my visit through all the Metro games after 2033, I also beat Last Light, and while the older Metro games are very similar, it really feels like they had a lot planned and plenty of ideas for Last Light, but couldn't really apply them to the game properly. Like, 2033 felt like a contained experience, great story, great pacing, and Last Light's story is also great, but there was a lot more going on. There was everything with Pavel from the start, which gets dropped halfway through, and then we have a new plot point just before the end of the game, and it all felt kind of off, but other than that, it's much of the same. Peak gunplay, peak atmosphere, and peak immersion. Plus, I love the new weapons and just how green the surface is, like, come on. And when Far Far West dropped into early access this month, I thought, Deep Rock Galactic mixed with Helldivers 2 gameplay and Robot Cowboys, sign me up. And yeah, it's another one of those play while watching a YouTube video type games you know I love. As for gameplay, it's like I said, Deep Rock Galactic-ish mixed with Helldivers 2, but more of the Helldivers side. You drop in, do the main objective, beat the boss, and exfil. But there's also a bunch of side objectives to do, and secrets and other quests for every map, and it's a perfect gameplay loop. But my complaint is that it isn't very replayable. None of the maps are procedurally generated, which isn't my problem, but once you've done the secret for one map and its quest line, you don't really have any reason to replay that map, other than for the hell of it. But the game is still fun nonetheless, plus it's made by the same people who made Pumpkin Jack, so hell yeah. And back to Metro, I went back to Exodus to play its DLCs. Starting with 2 kernels, it perfectly ties in Miller's experience at the end of the base game, while adding so much to a character that we never even got to meet in the game. It's more linear than the open world type levels of the main game, and I feel like this has definitely limited it a lot. The pacing felt awkward and it was so slow for most of it, but towards the end, it earned my approval. But going back to Exodus after playing through the older 2 games, holy shit, I forgot how polished and good this game looks. And I know 2033 is going to be so fucking good when it drops. And as for Sam's story, they made a whole new small open world just for this DLC, and it is so gorgeous. You play as the American Sam, hoping to make his way back home to the US by heading east across Russia. And now at Vladivostok, you run into some trouble from a guy with a submarine, with beef with the submarine's captain. And the story's a little meh, and the dialogue really just turns Sam into a Leon Kennedy-like American action hero. But it's more Metro Exodus open world gameplay, which is peak, and new weapons being a 1911 and a Tommy gun with their own new attachments and peak. What the fuck am I talking about? With their own new attachments and it's peak. And overall, both of these are just great DLCs. And this month I got into an arcade full of cats, a building full of cats, and a park full of cats, which are a collection of games kind of like Where's Waldo, I Spy games, and they're pretty fun. Maybe I'll play the rest of the series of games, but these just give you a scene where you need to find every cat, some hidden, some not, and it's very relaxing. I don't have much more to say. They're good games. I'd recommend you check them out. They have some free ones and some not, but they spread a good message, and they're just a good time. And actually, a few hours before writing this video, I played The Unfinished Swan. It's a short game made by the same people who made The What Remains of Edith Finch, which I adore, so I thought I'd enjoy this one. And throughout the game, you have to paint your way through the levels and puzzles, and it tells a sweet story about art, your creations, and what you will leave when you're gone. But I have to admit, for the first 30 minutes of the game, it sucked. The paint your way through the level mechanic is cool, but I'm glad they switched up very quickly, because with the insanely low FOV and all the bright, pure white colors, I had a non-stop headache for all of the first bit of the game. I'm even starting to feel sick watching back the footage. But then once I started adding more colors and shading to the world, it gets better until the nighttime forest levels, which, oh my god, makes the game so much better. It's definitely just the bright colors doing my head in, but towards the end of the game, it does become a really nice experience. But yeah, I think just having the FOV be maybe more than 2 degrees would make this an instantly more enjoyable experience, especially for the first half an hour, but by the end, it was a nice hour and a half, sweet little game with cool mechanics and puzzles. 8 out of 10. And towards the end of this month, I've been playing Rogue Core. Keep your eyes out for a main channel video sometime soonish.